You've been through a lot. Let's gather it together.
5 episodes. 5 concepts. 1 integrated picture.
The AI collaboration method.
What now?
Here's what we covered. The short version.
The split. 2 patterns emerging from the same tools.
Deference erodes judgment. Engagement compounds it.
Same activity. Same access. Completely different trajectories over time.
Recognition judgment. The human layer that AI cannot provide.
Knowing when output lands versus when it just sounds right.
The generation trance. Flow state without steering.
Feeling productive while your evaluation goes offline. The trap inside the good feeling.
Displacement. You can't think your way out. You move your way out.
The formalization loop. Coax, recognize, steer, iterate.
The actual rhythm of productive work. Simple to name. Takes practice to feel.
The early window. Before frameworks. Before certification. Before codification.
Right now you can find your own way. That won't last forever.
5 concepts. 1 integrated picture.
You have the language now. The map. The method.
The question is what you do next.
And that brings us to something most people miss.
Let's talk about what makes this moment unusual.
Right now, foundation models are almost free.
ChatGPT from OpenAI. Claude from Anthropic. Gemini from Google.
Free tiers exist on all of them. Paid tiers are $20 a month.
That's less than most streaming subscriptions.
For a capability that compounds every time you use it.
Here's what most people don't realize.
This pricing isn't sustainable. The companies know it.
They're spending billions to acquire users. Market capture. Land grab.
They're betting you'll be locked in when prices rise. Habits formed. Switching costs high.
That's their bet. But you can use it differently.
Build the skill now. While access is cheap. While exploration is open.
The economic window and the learning window are the same window.
Both are open now. Neither will stay open forever.
$20 a month. A few hours a week. That's the investment.
In 6 months, you'll have something most people won't.
Not because you're smarter. Not because you started earlier with AI.
Because you built the skill while it was cheap to practice.
Because you found the loop instead of waiting for someone to hand you a framework.
That's the economic case. It's real. It matters.
But there's another advantage hiding in plain sight.
Something practical that makes the loop easier to stay in.
Let's talk about the models themselves.
These models aren't identical. And that's an advantage if you know how to use it.
Same category. Different strengths. Different personalities almost.
Claude tends toward depth and nuance. Extended reasoning. Careful with complexity.
Good at long documents. Holding context. Working through layered problems.
ChatGPT tends toward speed and breadth. Wide knowledge. Rapid iteration.
Good at brainstorming. Quick drafts. Tool integrations. Getting unstuck fast.
Gemini tends toward synthesis. Multimodal work. Tight integration with Google's ecosystem.
Good at pulling things together. Research across sources. Working with images and text together.
These aren't rigid rules. They shift with updates. But the differences are real.
And knowing which handles which task, that's practical knowledge worth having.
Here's why it matters. Friction knocks you out of the loop.
You hit a wall. The model doesn't get it. You try again. It still doesn't work.
You stop. You lose momentum. The thread breaks. You're out of the loop.
But if you know this model handles this and that model handles that,
you route around the friction. You switch. You keep going. You stay in flow longer.
The loop isn't about one model. It's about knowing your instruments.
Over time, you develop preferences. Intuitions. This kind of thinking goes here. That kind goes there.
That knowledge is yours. It compounds. It transfers. No certification required.
Just attention and practice. Noticing what works. Building your own workflow.
All 3 models. Free or $20 each. Available right now.
That's the practical side. Tools and access and workflow.
Now let's talk about what happens when you actually stay in the loop.
The first week feels clumsy. That's normal. Everyone starts there.
You're learning the loop. Coax, recognize, steer, iterate. It takes a minute.
The first month, something shifts. Recognition gets faster. You catch things sooner.
Steering becomes instinct. You don't think about the steps. You just do them.
By month 3, you surprise yourself.
Ideas that would have taken weeks. Done in days. Done better.
Not because AI did it for you. Because you learned to steer.
Because you stayed in the loop long enough for it to compound.
The people who stick with this, they all say the same thing.
I didn't expect to get this much better this fast.
That can be you. Not because you're special. Because you practiced.
If you watched this and thought, I understand it but I don't quite feel it yet.
That's exactly right. That's the gap between map and territory.
These videos point. The practice is where you arrive.
You don't have to do this alone.
A community exists. Real projects. Other people finding the loop. Guides who've been doing this.
You bring your half-formed thing. You try the method. You see what happens.
The ideas you heard here, they'll mean something different after a few sessions.
If you want to practice with others, we gather regularly. You can find us.
Meetup.com/AI as creative partner. Or thirdplace.space for more about what we're building.
You're not behind. If you're hearing this, you're on time. The window is open. The door is open.
The AI collaboration method. What changes when you stop prompting?